Hey everyone, you may have heard the news by now, but last night there was a horrific mass shooting at Bondi Beach. Two gunmen opened fire on a group of people who were celebrating Hanukkah on Bondi Beach. Currently, I think, confirmed dead, there's 16 people who have been confirmed as dead, including one of the shooters and including a child, but there's heaps more that have critical injuries and are currently in hospital. This kind of thing doesn't happen in Australia, so we're all pretty shaken. But this happened on a night of celebration on day one of Hanukkah. But what makes this even more devastating is because of what Hanukkah is all about. And I'll get to that, but first and most importantly, I wanted to quickly make this video just to say to all my Jewish brothers and sisters that myself and my family are mourning with you, and we're praying for you. I'm not going to say Happy Hanukkah because last night wasn't happy. It was terrifying. But I am going to say that God is light and God is the God of life. And he mourns with you and he longs with you to see you and your families restored and return to wholeness and completeness. In a word, shalom. So why is this even more devastating? Because Hanukkah is a celebration of light. So this is the advertisement for the event last night. It was at Bondi Beach near the children's playground, and this is what it says. It says, "Come celebrate the light of Hanukkah together with the community. Bring your friends, bring the family. Let's fill Bondi with joy and light." Yep. Last night, families were gathered in the community on the beach as a community to fill Bondi with joy and light. I mean, far out. So, quickly, if you don't know the history behind Hanukkah, in about 170 BC, Antiochus Epiphanes, he desecrated the Jewish temple and he desecrated all the holy objects, the menorah, the altar, everything. He even built his own altar on top of the existing altar, and he sacrificed a pig on it. And so this completely defiled the altar and the temple. So during the time after that, they couldn't even offer any sacrifices to God. Until a couple of brothers, they reclaimed the temple, and they began the process of purification. So you can read about that in the book of Maccabees, and it's named after the brothers, the Maccabean brothers, who they fought to take back the temple. The first time the tabernacle was consecrated and dedicated, you can read about in Leviticus 8. But when they reclaimed the temple, there was a problem, because when they went to light the menorah, there was only enough sacred oil that would last one day. So they lit it anyway, and miraculously the light lasted for 8 days. And that's the same number of days that it took to consecrate the tabernacle and the priests. Again, you can read about that in Leviticus 8. So after 8 days of consecration, it was time to dedicate the temple, which is what Hanukkah means. It's the Hebrew for dedication. And the Apostle John in his Gospel calls it the Feast of Dedication. Because when they rededicated the temple, naturally, they had a massive feast. And because of the miracle of the oil, still today they eat lots of food cooked in lots of oil. So this feast has become an annual festival. It's called the Festival of Lights, and the festival lasts for 8 days. And because a big part of the feast is lighting candles, so I wanted to mention Philo of Alexandria. He lived from about 20 years before Christ to 50 years after. And he says, "It is not improper to call the blaze of the most sacred light in the innermost shrine itself a sacrifice." So he's talking about the menorah, the candles that burn continually in the temple, as being a sacrifice because they shine continually like stars. How can Philo see a lamp burning and consider it a sacrifice? Well, a sacrifice is a gift given to God, and it's a pleasing aroma. But it goes deeper than that, I've just discovered. King Solomon said that doing God's commands is like lighting a candle. So Proverbs 6:23 says, "For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is a light, and this discipline is the way of life." And this is a really important verse for the Jews celebrating Hanukkah at the moment, because they say every time you do a good deed that's commanded by God, it's like lighting a candle. It's like spreading light into the world. So in comparison to the dark and the evil that occurred in Bondi last night, Hanukkah is supposed to be a symbol of light, a symbol of transformation and new creation. So I hope that gives a bit of context for why what happened last night is so evil and vile. Again, my Jewish friends, I'm mourning with you. I pray that at this time you'll know and experience light, because our God is light and our God is a consuming fire. The Apostle John said, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Or the New Living Translation says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it." God bless.